What's going on, guys? Big Bass Tony here with another episode of VentureTube. If you guys have been keeping up with me lately, you know I've got a new inflatable Sea Eagle kayak. I've made several videos prior. The first video just being an overall review. Second video, me getting the boat set up with a camera. And this video is going to be about me getting out on the water and seeing how the camera mount works and just doing a little bit of fishing. I didn't have long to film this video. Not gonna lie to you, there's not much fishing action in there, but hey, it was a nice relaxing evening on Lake Conroe. My camera setup, I believe, worked pretty good. There's a couple more things I'll be modifying to the boat, but that'll be in the future. Yeah, that's about it for this one. Hope you enjoyed. All right, on the water. All right, so we're on the water. You did notice from my original layout, since I didn't bring my kayak crate, I ended up moving this platform forward right here, just so I could have access to these rod holders right here. Obviously, because I didn't bring my crate, I didn't have anywhere to put my rods, and this was covering up those holes. But moving it forward a little bit, doesn't do too bad. Of course, I couldn't do that again if I had the crate with me, but I didn't bring a lot of gear, only 2 fishing rods, so I'm just gonna piddle around here, see how the boat does with the GoPro mounted on this. I'm already pretty sure I'm gonna put a couple of rod holders on this platform, and I may can do without a crate, period. It's one thing I like about this boat, just being able to sit to the side like this. So close to the water, and this is soft, so it's comfortable. I gotta do some rigging up. So it was actually a little bit warmer today than it's been. It was about 88 degrees as a high, but as we transition into the fall and these water temperatures start dropping, it's gonna push the bait, back toward the pockets, and you can already see, or maybe you can see, these little shimmers here on the surface of the water. It's all bait fish. As the water temperature continues to drop, you're gonna see the bass become more active, and they'll start busting these bait balls like crazy. One of the best approaches to that is throwing rattle traps, or basically something that mimics those bait fish. So you want to pick something same color, relatively same size. And I generally like a fast moving bait. Throw over the school of bait and run your lure through them, scatter the bait up, get the bass fired up, and you can catch a lot of fish that way. Now, I only brought a couple of rods. I didn't bring anything like that besides a crankbait, which it's a blackback chartreuse, does not match this bait. Could get lucky and catch one, but I'm gonna try a little finesse rig, the wackiest of the wacky. Another tip for you guys, especially on Lake Conroe, and pretty much any lake that I've come across, culverts are always usually a good spot to fish, especially after a hard rain. When you get that current flowing through there, those bass like to set up on the outside of it. Now, normally you don't even see this culvert right here in front of me, but because Conroe's been preparing for hurricane season, they've dropped the lake level down a couple of feet. As y'all can see, I have my legs out and I probably got about a foot, maybe a foot and a half of space from my foot to this splash guard. It's because I have the panel with the GoPro on and this type of chair. If you wanted to go out with 2 people and try to fish, it's going to be tough in this boat, especially, you know, with 2 rods slinging. But again, Sea Eagle has the other seat where it elevates you, so put my legs at a 90 degree, which would put more space in the front. I guess you could rig this boat up with 2 of those swivel chairs. I wouldn't see why not. In this seat, I'm not sitting in the bottom of the kayak. I have all my weight toward the back. I got my feet up. It's comfortable, doing just fine. Now, obviously, the water conditions are really calm and smooth, but even if they weren't, this boat is really stable. These pontoons do what they're supposed to do. Now, if I could just do what I'm supposed to do and catch a fish. Well, I'm going to paddle it since the fishing's pretty slow. I'm going to paddle it kind of fast and go to a spot toward the main lake and see what I can do. So y'all can see there's a little bit of yaw. Not much though. Here, I'll go by this no wake sign so you can get a reference for speed. And I'm not paddling really hard. And I'm not using my best paddle. Actually, this paddle doesn't even belong to me. This is a Crooked Creek paddle. I'm a Werner fan. Werner paddles are awesome. I hope I have the camera angle enough where y'all can see those clouds. That is just beautiful. Hopefully that gives you guys a little reference on how fast this boat is. I'm a pretty strong paddler, but I honestly don't do it that often with my Hobie. Obviously that's why I bought a Hobie. And it's not, this boat isn't as fast as my Hobie. But as far as that goes, really no paddle boats are, besides maybe a sea kayak. So, like I said, I've only had this to compare to really inexpensive inflatable boats. And it does the job for me. 6'3", 250 pounds, able to fish all day in an inflated seat, stay dry, remain stable, and carry whatever gear I need throughout the day. Can't complain. So basically what we have over here is a little shallow cove, I guess you'd call it. It's positioned right here off the main lake. Even though the water is really shallow, usually still get bit here on a regular basis, but no guarantees. Tell you what, for me though, going fishing and not having my gear makes me feel naked. Not having all my gear. I normally bring about 8 to 10 rods. I've only got 2 and a bag of Cincos basically, and some trick worms, and 1 crankbait. So if I don't catch a fish, I got an excuse. Alright, so I'm going to go back to the wacky rig and see if we can't get something in these docks. Well, since I'm getting on the water so late, I don't have too much more daylight, and I don't have a 360 light rigged up on this boat yet, so we may just have to go to the boat ramp and fish around there. But I would like to get one fish. Switch to a black Cinco. So a big cigarette boat went by earlier. Here comes a pretty nice wave. I'm going to go over it just to give you guys something to, some action. There you go, and I was paddling directly into that, and you can see how the bow of this kayak, the way it's designed, it knocks the waves out to the side. And again, with it being somewhat curved up and having a real shallow draft, there's really not too much of that part touching the water anyway. So it'll go right over a wave really easily. As you can see too, with this boat being an open cockpit, you can lay rods down in front of you and my lure's still not anywhere near the boat. Open space is what I've found to be the most beneficial and simplest thing to have in a kayak when you're out on the water, especially bass fishing. You just need space. It makes things easier. I'm sure it's really dark on my GoPro. Maybe I can do some exposure adjusting right now. Is that better? Fish on, don't know. Oh, it came off. I think that was a gar. Pretty sure that was a gar. It felt really weird.